Hello, and welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to do something a little different. Today we're going to be going over a actual visual mod called Natural Vision Evolved. Recently they did an announcement trailer and a closed beta, I believe, or you have to donate on Patreon to get into the beta. So I went ahead, I donated on Patreon after seeing this amazing trailer. Again, I'll put it in the description. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's one of the the best edited trailers I've seen in pretty much forever. So I decided, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to download it. So again, I donated to the Patreon, downloaded the files, installed everything, launched my game, and I decided, immediately I had to make a video on it because it is absolutely crazy, an insane mod. So right now we're going to go through kind of some of the biggest changes that I personally noticed. So starting off, as you can see, the reflections are absolutely gorgeous. All of these street lamps, all the neon signs and everything reflect perfectly with the car and look exactly how it should, in my opinion, in real life, or as close as it can to that. Kind of reflections off of other cars also look great. All the curves on cars look super crisp, super clean. When you're just driving around the road, the sky, the buildings also look amazing. With this mod, it completely changes most of these skyscraper buildings as well. But pretty much the basics, or the biggest stuff that I noticed, is definitely the reflections. The game overall, of course, looks a whole lot different with this mod installed, but the reflections are a big part of it and a big part of the stuff that you will notice. Everything also just looks a lot more crisp, a lot more clean, and it really does bring a lot of the kind of feel of when you first saw GTA 5 and it looked like the amazing graphics. Now, don't get me wrong, the graphics I think are still great in GTA 5. But back in 2013, yes, this game is 7 years old. It's pretty crazy. When this game did come out, the graphics back then were absolutely insane, way ahead of its time, and I think this Natural Vision Evolved mod really does make GTA look like how it did back then to you. It makes it look like a brand new game. It makes it look completely new, a lot more realistic. All of the reflections, again, look super clean. Everything looks super crisp, although it does take a big toll on your FPS. I have about, what I usually get is around anywhere from 130 to around 190 usually driving around, with the settings I had from before. And then with this mod installed, again, I have both the ENB, I don't think I have the ENB installed, but I do have everything else installed on Ultra. And I'm getting around 60 frames, but if I go too fast, I kind of drop down to 30 to 40. So it's definitely not a fully playable mod yet, at least on the Ultra settings on this PC. Again, I will put my PC specs in the description as well if you want to check those out. But it is an amazing mod just for single player or just for messing around, kind of just seeing the limits of the game. I think it's a really fun mod to mess around with. And again, I did have some tests set up with Rockstar Editor and everything, but unfortunately it didn't really come out too well the way I wanted it to come out, so I don't think I'm going to be using those. Just going around the map and just looking at everything is amazing. You can do tests and stuff like that as well if you want to, but honestly I feel like it's mostly shown and you can kind of get a better sense of it with just driving around the city. So I'll also include a bunch of footage of just driving around, kind of looking at reflections, kind of how everything works, different time zones, different times, different vehicles, stuff like that. So you guys can get a little bit better idea of how everything looks. But basically, there's a couple different modes with it. So I tried the medium mode and then I tried the ultra mode. The footage you're seeing right now is from the ultra mode with all of these settings turned up, I believe. Again, there's some issues like you see with this gas station with bloom. I believe that's because I had another mod installed beforehand that may be conflicting with it. But besides that, the mod is absolutely insane. I think, again, the bloom stuff is just because I have another mod that's conflicting with it a little bit. But in general, it makes GTA look like a completely different game. Makes it, again, look like GTA 6 almost. With, again, the graphics, the reflections, how cars work. Literally everything of this mod is amazing. I definitely recommend, again, donating and downloading it and trying it out for yourself. If you do have a PC, I'll put my PC stuff in the description, or in PC specifications in the description if you want to also check that out. But again, it is an amazing mod. Again, I believe it's only developed by 1 or 2 people or a couple people, but he's even been to LA for it, checking out all of the different stuff in person, going back in game, making it look realistic. Again, I'm not really sure the whole process, but I do know that it came out. This final product is absolutely amazing. But I think that's enough of me just kind of going over it in this kind of sense. I think what we're going to do now is hop into game. Again, you are just being shown some B-roll footage right now from me just driving around town. But let's hop in game and explain a little bit more about some other features of this mod, some of the custom textures, and some of the different weather, and experiment with that a little bit. So let's go hop in game real quick and show you guys some other cool features of this mod. Alright, so now we're in game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those comparisons, but I think it really shines just driving around and just seeing how stuff works with each other, seeing the reflection, seeing everything. So if we're just driving around here, you can see all the shadows perfectly reflect what they should. All of the colors are reflected in other cars, so that car is green. It's kind of hard to notice with this. If we get a different car, let's do that real quick. I'm also using the menu mod for vehicle spawning and stuff like that. Let's just get a super diamond and make it chrome so you guys can see a little bit more as well about the reflections. So again, if we're driving around, everything is awesomely reflecting off of this chrome. I think it looks amazing. Like if we go near this, we're gonna see kind of that gray of the car. If we go near a red vehicle like this, we're gonna see that reflected in the super diamond if it's at the right angle, kind of a little bit in that one. We're just driving around town. Again, the reflections in this game, or with this mod, are absolutely crazy. There's also some more detailed, more detailed ground, but it's only for certain spots in the map. I'll show you guys those in just a second. But this, I don't know, I've just been absolutely mind blown by this mod, just driving around, seeing how stuff looks. Let's make it nighttime real quick, because that's where this mod actually really shines, in my opinion. It shines the most at nighttime. So let's make it a nice nighttime. Let's drive around and see how stuff is. Honestly, this game looks pretty insane of this mod. This is probably one of the best visual mods I've ever seen. Definitely recommend you guys to go check out the trailer, support his Patreon, you know, download it, test it out, because it is a lot of fun. And again, like with these, the kind of blue things over here, the blue police, reflects across the super diamond again. Pretty crazy. I do have some other mods that may be conflicting a little bit with the bloom. So if the bloom looks a little weird, that may be other mods I have as well. But like even just here with all of these trees and such, just looking at the road, just driving around, I'm absolutely bewildered by this mod in general. It's pretty amazing how this was actually made. And again, I'm pretty sure this team is just like a couple people or just one person who actually made this mod. So I can't even begin to think of what like a fully dedicated GTA team is going to come up with for GTA 6. It's going to be absolutely crazy. But let's go again through this like red light, and you'll be able to see the red light and everything kind of going over the car, because again, it's chrome, so everything reflects. Just driving around here, again, it's just absolutely crazy how everything looks. The reflections off the cars, reflections off the ground. Other cars' looks, our car itself, these taillights, again, one of the biggest things was the taillights. It looks fucking insane. Pretty crazy mod overall. I'm just gonna drive around a little bit more and just let some footage play, because this is pretty crazy. I think we're gonna go over the couple different weather right now and kind of how it affects it and how it looks like. So first of all, let's start with foggy. So I think it looks very doomsday in the fog, depending on what time it is. So let's make it a little bit lighter, and the fog makes a little bit more sense in the daytime. Again, I really don't like how it looks. I think it's my blue mods that are messing with it in the fog, but like throughout the time with the fog on, it does look really cool. Around this time, it looks really cool near the sunset. You have all the big buildings, all the reflections off of the big buildings. Again, all of the lights still reflecting off of our chrome super diamond. Again, these gigantic buildings are absolutely amazing with this mod. Completely changed how they look. Well, I mean, completely changed how the whole game looks, in my opinion. Let's go look through some other weather. Let's check out the rain, or the thunder, I guess, is probably a better example. Once the puddles start forming, you're going to be able to see the reflections of the puddles as well. So let's wait for those to form a little bit. So now if I get out here and start looking at these puddles, they're absolutely amazing. Everything is perfectly reflects off them. Let's change the time a little bit. Get nighttime again. See how the reflections again with the puddles and everything work. It looks insane, absolutely insane. Again, just driving through the whole town, just experiencing the mod is absolutely amazing. I don't know how many times I've said it, but it's just insane how crazy this mod is. Again, I definitely recommend checking it out, supporting the guy who created it. In the comments, or in the description below, I'll put the link. There is also a bunch of add-ons for it. I don't have the Thunder one, but the Thunder still looks absolutely crazy with this mod. Again, just driving around at nighttime with the rain, it's just crazy. It does kill the FPS, or hurt the FPS a little bit, but I'm still hitting around 60, 70, which is pretty crazy. Again, if we start going a little bit too fast, it's going to definitely kill it, but at this moment, everything just looks absolutely amazing, so crisp. It definitely feels like a whole new game. Let's keep changing the time around a little bit so we can see kind of a storm in the daytime. Change the weather back to, let's just change it back to extra sunny and just drive around a little bit, because again, everything looks amazing with this. I think also it looks really good with the Banshee and I believe the livery on it. Yeah, whatever this livery is or whatever it is, I think it looks absolutely amazing. Again, I'm just going to be saying amazing, insane, and crazy quite a bit throughout this video, because it is absolutely, again, an insane mod, not to overuse the word too much. But everything just does look very, very crisp, very amazing. And just like the carbon fiber, everything, like going through these tunnels like this, going through puddles. I'm just absolutely bewildered by, again, how this mod is. How this was made. It's actually crazy. But as I was saying before, there are some parts of the map that have kind of custom textures for them as well, completely custom textures. So I think what we're going to do is go over to one of those. I believe one of them is Franklin's house, or not Franklin's house, actually maybe Franklin's house, but one of the houses, as well as the grave site, I believe, or the graveyard. So we're going to go over there real quick. Let's head over to the house. Check out the tiles over those at Franklin's house, and I will see you guys once we are over there. Alright, so we are at the house, and I think this is another place where the mod really shines. So we get out here, we start looking at the ground. All of the stones are kind of individualized, it almost looks like. You can actually see the depth and everything to all of them, and I think it makes it look really cool. Actually, when I first went to make this video, I walked out of the house and kind of just stared at the ground for about 10 minutes, because I think it's absolutely crazy how good it looks. I believe this is actually in one of the trailer videos, kind of the difference between this and the custom textures. I think it looks amazing. Another spot is the grave site as well, so let's go over there. Again, I'm just bewildered by how amazing this mod looks. It's pretty damn crazy. Even just like getting in the car, looking around the car, looking at the reflections, it's just absolutely awesome. Let's go over to the graveyard now, and I'll show you guys that a little bit as well. Alright, so we are now at the grave place where, or the graveyard where, again, these custom depth textures are here as well. I think it looks crazy. I just want to show you guys this as well, because it does look pretty crazy. Kind of just have to experience for yourself, honestly. Again, I don't really know how to put into words everything besides crazy, insane, and bewildered, because I've never really seen or really used any visual mods. So going from nothing to this kind of mod is a gigantic jump for me, and really, it's pretty. Again, I hate that I'm using the same freaking 5 words, but it's insane how amazing this game looks with this mod installed. But I think that is going to be about it for this video. Hopefully some of my thoughts came through into words, but again, this is my first time doing kind of a review of a mod, so hopefully some of it made sense. Hopefully it wasn't me rambling on too much, but if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, and if you want me to do some more mod reviews in the future, let me know. But I think that's going to be about it. So again, if you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike, and if you want to, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.